Jennifer Lopez is a dynamo.
She's a multimedia, multi-industry powerhouse who has conquered the worlds of music, fashion, and film. Jennifer Lopez is blessed with a transcendent beauty and an undeniable it quality.
It's not just that she has a good body, but she has a way of carrying things.
Despite her successful career, Jennifer has had trouble with her love life.
Whenever she's thinking about who she's going to be with, she has to think about her career.
Constant media attention has made relationships difficult, but that hasn't kept her from pursuing love.
Jennifer's always followed her heart. She actually describes herself as a hopeless romantic because she's so optimistic about love.
Jennifer is determined to give her fairy tale story a happy ending. And these days, although she's still not so lucky in love, Jenny from the block seems to have finally found balance, thanks to motherhood and a recent career comeback. It was 2002, and Jennifer Lopez had a career that was in overdrive. She was busy promoting 2 films, 2 albums, and her new perfume line. But as usual, the media buzz was all about the curvaceous star's love life.
She's in a business that's very difficult, where she's scrutinized all the time.
Following highly publicized breakups with Ohani Noah and Sean P. Diddy Combs, Jennifer was a year into her marriage with backup dancer Chris Judd when differences in their lifestyles and busy schedules led to a divorce. Soon after the media frenzy over Jennifer's love life reached its peak, Jennifer began dating A-list actor Ben Affleck.
Even before Ben and Jennifer were involved, people just saw sparks.
It was on the set of the romantic dark comedy Gigli that rumors swirled of a Ben and Jen love connection. They were 2 of Hollywood's hottest and brightest stars, sharing meteoric heights of celebrity.
It's a West Side Story. They were from different sides of the track. They were from different backgrounds.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez were definitely an unlikely couple, and it caused a lot of headlines because for a lot of people, they just weren't that comfortable seeing a Latina with this very successful Anglo actor.
When Jennifer and Ben started dating, they were at the top of their careers. They were really 2 of the biggest stars, so to have them together, people were obviously fascinated.
Only 3 months after her divorce to Chris Judd, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck were engaged. A 6-carat diamond worth $1.2 million completed the proposal. Fans couldn't get enough of the celebrity couple that the press dubbed Benifer.
Every time you turn around, you, Ben, are on the cover of Us, People. What is it like to have to carry on a romance in such a public forum?
It's strange. There's no other word for it. It's just exactly what you would think it would be. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird and kind of surreal and kind of funny and kind of enjoyable, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy.
Before there was Brangelina, there was Benifer. They were this huge couple. Everyone wanted to know everything about them.
They became one of the first couples that became constantly followed. Everything they did was in the news. Every time they stopped, at McDonald's in the Bentley to get a Coke, there was someone taking a picture.
With the masses eagerly watching, Benifer took on a life of its own. Tabloids eager for more drama scrutinized their every move, exaggerating their private excursions and alleged tiffs. The couple had less and less control of their own relationship as the media played an increasingly interactive role.
I really do not know how they did it because they did not get one moment of alone time. There were paparazzi everywhere. Everywhere they went, whether they bought a new car, whether he gave her a bracelet, they were walking down the street. Even if they wanted to have a normal relationship, there was no way that they were gonna have a normal relationship.
It is crazy, and it's not comfortable, and you don't feel so comfortable in your own skin anymore, You feel like you're being watched constantly.
As the wedding drew closer, it seemed that there was a sense that both of them began looking at each other and saying, who are you? And are we really part of a couple, or are we part of some sort of media spectacle that's been created?
Finally, the bubble burst. It got too much. They began living in an image and lost the closeness in the relationship.
For Jennifer, it was yet another high-profile breakup that had fans wondering just who Jennifer Lopez was and why she couldn't seem to find happiness with a man. Until she began dating Mark Anthony, their relationship was a new beginning for Jennifer in more ways than one. They avoided the press and the paparazzi and never even publicly acknowledged they were a couple until they walked down the aisle in 2004. It's no wonder she referred to that time in her life as phase 2, an even balance of work and play. Plagued by a past where her private life was anything but, Jennifer was embracing this new chapter. The new phase also included motherhood, when Mark and Jen welcomed twins in 2008. Taking time off to enjoy being a new mom, Jennifer's return to Hollywood was not easy. She was dropped by her music label, and her film The Backup Plan didn't impress audiences. But a chance to judge the hottest singing competition show on television put Jennifer Lopez back on top.
If you want to be in this business, it's so competitive that you have to really be focused, and you can't have like, oh, I'll fall back on this or whatever. You can't. You just have to go, no, this is what I'm going to do.
She's a fabulous combination of confidence and vulnerability. But we do see the little girl about her, the little girl that wants to be taken care of, the little girl that wants to be thought of as soft and feminine. And I think that combination keeps us watching her and keeps us interested in her.
That little girl, Jennifer Lynn Lopez, was born on July 24th, 1969, in the Castle Hill section of Bronx, New York, to parents Guadalupe and David Lopez.
Her parents were from Puerto Rico. They had immigrated to the United States as children and met and married. She had to share a bedroom with her 2 sisters. She describes her childhood as a very happy one. She said they lived in a house filled with music and good food. And I think she really did have a nice childhood with her family. Her parents were very protective of her.
They wanted Jennifer to go on to be a lawyer. They focused a lot on her studies.
Guadalupe, a school teacher, and David, a computer technician, insisted that their daughters never miss a day of school or church.
Jennifer and her 2 sisters, Leslie and Linda, liked to perform for the family. They put on little performances, both in the neighborhood and in their own home.
The small family performances, coupled with Guadalupe's love for the musical West Side Story, led Jennifer's hardworking parents to enroll her in dance school as a young girl.
I think she was encouraged from a very young age by her parents to sing, dance, to feel successful at it, to feel like it was fun.
My parents were very nurturing in the fact that they let us, believe that there was anything, anything was possible with hard work.
She was very vivacious always, very outgoing, very creative, always kind of knew that she wanted to be an entertainer.
She attended Preston High and was nicknamed the supernova around her neighborhood on Black Rock Avenue.
She was involved in everything from tennis to gymnastics, and she was involved in track. Instead of sticking with athletics, she chose dance. And that was really what she put all her energy into as she grew up.
There was this one story where she's very upset in a dance class, and her teacher comes up and says, what's wrong? What's his name? And she says, no, I just want to be better in my dancing. And that's why she was upset. So she was always very dedicated, and it meant so much to her.
I went to Preston High School, my freshman year of high school, and we did a show called The Apple Tree, and Jennifer was actually the choreographer of the show, so she did all the dance moves. I remember having a crush on this guy, and I always remember being jealous because I liked him and he liked her, and I didn't like that.
Jennifer was a good kid until she turned 16 and discovered boys, and then she got a little bit rebellious. She recalled sneaking out of the house to see her boyfriend.
Jennifer's first serious romantic relationship was with a boy called David Cruz, who she has previously described as the best-looking guy in the neighborhood.
Jennifer's life in the Bronx was changing. She had decided to take advantage of a scholarship offer to the prestigious Philip Black Dance Studio in Manhattan, a 45-minute subway ride away.
Jennifer graduated high school and went on to Baruch College in the city. But being in the city every day, she just couldn't help being carried away by the energy and the spirit and the creativity.
Her dance instructor was also a choreographer, and Jennifer would go and dance in Manhattan clubs and do his routines, and he would pay her to do this. Her parents didn't like this. They feared for her safety. They didn't want her hanging around with the wrong crowd, so this is when Jennifer moved out and got her own apartment.
18-year-old Jennifer moved to Manhattan to pursue dance full-time. Her parents were disappointed in her decision not to continue her education, but dancing was Jennifer's life.
It was a struggle. I mean, those jobs, somebody should get $50 for a music video, and she said that she's had to make that last a month.
She once agreed to clean up in a dance studio in exchange for lessons. So that's how far she was willing to push it. She was willing to, put in the work to get the payoff.
After months of auditioning, Jennifer was about to catch the attention of some influential people in the dance world. It was the break she needed.
She was not going to let anybody stop her, and she was sure of herself.
It was New York City in 1989, and the ambitious 19-year-old Jennifer Lopez was getting herself noticed at every dance audition she could find. Jennifer was having difficulty paying bills and finding steady work, but her dance style was a perfect fit for the times.
When Jennifer was going out for her dance auditions, hip-hop really started taking off with MC Hammer's Hammer Time. So everybody suddenly wanted, people who could dance in that style. And Jennifer was fantastic at it.
Jennifer was picking up occasional work in music videos and nightclubs when she learned of an opportunity that could make or break her. The hit TV show In Living Color was holding auditions for dancers.
This was a Wayans Brothers show. It was a pop culture kind of show that everyone was talking about. It was hipper than Saturday Night Live in its day.
Jennifer competed against thousands of women for the coveted job, but she didn't make the cut. She was crushed.
The worst point of her early career was when she auditioned for In Living Color, and she failed the audition. But then, as so often happens, she then had a stroke of good luck.
A fly girl had dropped out of In Living Color, and choreographer Rosie Perez handpicked Jennifer. It was the chance the Bronx-born beauty had always dreamed of, but it would come with a price. The In Living Color studio was in Los Angeles. If Jennifer wanted to pursue her dream, she would have to leave behind the people she loved.
There was some hesitation leaving New York. She had a longtime boyfriend, David Cruz. Her mom, her sisters, her family was here, all her friends.
Jennifer arrived in LA and immediately struggled with the separation from her family and David. Still, she found her stride as a fly girl.
Right from the start, she stood out. People thought that she had it, she was going to be a star, she was going places, even when she was just dancing in the background.
We all called each other. We all picked up the phone. Did you see? Jennifer Lopez, she's on Living Color. Did you know she wanted to do that? No, it was really cool.
But Jennifer had no one to share her newfound success with. For the young dancer, Hollywood was a lonely place. Uncertainty was looming.
She became very, very homesick. That first year was really hard on her, and she said she spent most of her money that she earned buying plane tickets so she could fly home on the weekends.
When the weekly flights home caused an obvious strain on Jennifer's emotions, David Cruz decided to move out to LA to join her.
Then she felt more comfortable, and then she really started advancing her career, looking at what else she should do.
Once she started to settle into LA, Jennifer began to see all the career possibilities that Hollywood had to offer.
She was hot, she was beautiful, and she had a twinkle in her eye, always did. She was just very passionate. She was very strong about dancing and performing, and I think that's what excited me the most.
She's someone who has the ability to be sexy and move.
Jennifer appeared in Janet Jackson's video for That's the Way Love Goes.
Jennifer had a combination of physicality, beauty, this amazing body that was really unusual for the time, as well as this tremendous confidence and this drive.
With her sights set high, Jennifer turned down an offer to dance for Janet Jackson's world tour in hopes of pursuing a television and film career instead.
In Living Color was really a goldmine of opportunities. On that show, Jennifer met somebody who would become her manager.
After some brief work in short-lived TV series like Hotel Malibu and Second Chances, at age 25, Jennifer landed her first significant supporting movie role.
Money Train was a good breakout film for her. It came at a great time in her career. She's working opposite Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, and she's playing not just a traditional girl. She's a character who's introduced as very much an equal to the male leads in the film. And she pulled that off.
It's really a buddy movie. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, and she's the chick, which could be a very bland role, but she really spices it up. She has a lot of energy, fun, she pops.
Money Train hit theaters in the spring of 1995 and was a blockbuster hit, grossing over $35 million. And when audiences and critics took special notice of the new starlet, Jennifer's next opportunity had already arrived.
When we were doing Mi Familia with New Line, obviously it was about a Latino family, Mexican-American family, and I wanted to have all Latino actors in the main roles and all the roles. The studio said to me, there are no Latina actresses, and my line to them were, of course there are. There's great Latina actresses. They've just never been given an opportunity.
It's kind of a saga of 3 generations of a Mexican family, and she plays the young matriarch, Maria. She really showed her range, and people were very impressed with her.
In a way, it's like the Robert De Niro part in The Godfather, you know, the big part in the past. But it's also about the Hispanic American experience. So it's something that she could really plug into, very much understand.
Jennifer was surrounded by this star-studded cast, Edward James Olmos, Jimmy Smits. So here she is, kind of on par with, you know, such Hollywood excellence.
Francis Ford Coppola was the executive producer of the film, and we showed it to him, and the first thing he said after that movie was over was, "Who was that actress at the beginning of the movie? She was incredible." And I said, "Well, that's Jennifer Lopez." And that was the first thing he wanted to know, was who Jennifer Lopez was. And of course, he used her in his next movie, Jack.
By 1996, Jennifer was getting steady acting work alongside major stars. She landed roles in Jack with Robin Williams and Blood and Wine with Jack Nicholson.
She has a smaller role in it, playing Nicholson's girlfriend, but at the same time, when you're around that kind of talent, it's gonna make you bring your A game. And when you look at the film, she's really quite strong in it. It's an underseen film, it's an underappreciated film, and Lopez is a big reason as to why it works.
Critics were pleased with Jennifer's body of work, and the rising starlet was coming into her own. Boyfriend David Cruz, on the other hand, was having trouble adapting to Jennifer's fame.
While her career was taking off with all these new acting jobs and everybody talking in her ear about how she's going to be the next big thing, David was really struggling. I mean, he really couldn't get it together. Ultimately, Jennifer and David Cruz just went their separate ways, and he moved back to New York, and she carried on with her career in Los Angeles.
The beautiful and successful actress was now single, but that would change just a few months later.
Jennifer met Ohani when she was really quite young. She was working on Blood and Wine in Miami, and she was frequently going to Gloria Estefan's restaurant to have dinner. And Ohani was a waiter there, and he was also a model, so a very good-looking guy. And Jennifer really just looked at him and was smitten and thought he was attractive and was attracted to him. And she's a very passionate person, so a lot of times she just allows her feelings to run away with her.
As Jennifer's relationship with Ohani Noah grew, she didn't let it distract her from her career. And little did she know a groundbreaking role was about to launch her into the entertainment stratosphere. By 1996, Jennifer Lopez had established herself as a legitimate actress in Hollywood. She appeared in the movie Anaconda, followed by a starring role in Oliver Stone's U-Turn. She was successful, but not yet a superstar. That is, until a very special role presented itself. Jennifer would audition for the title role of the famous Mexican-American entertainer, Selena, who had grown to renowned fame and success before her murder in 1995. The film was produced with the support and participation of the Quintanilla family. Executive produced by Selena's father, Abraham, it was a story of inspiration and would become a commemoration for millions of loyal fans.
Selena was killed when we were in post-production on Mi Familia. It was a tremendous tragedy for our community. The family, they wanted to know that whoever was going to play Selena would be somebody who they felt could capture the beauty and the essence of their daughter. And so they wanted to have an open casting call.
The audition process was rigorous. Along with 20,000 other hopefuls, Jennifer went through screen tests that not only demanded acting prowess, but also the ability to be an entertainer. Yet this only strengthened her desire for the role.
Jennifer instinctively knew that Selena was the kind of role that would challenge her, that would scare her to death, and that would bring her the kind of attention, if it was successful, that would take her on to the next step.
It was definitely a role that I felt I could sink my teeth into. I mean, it was a good role. They don't come along like this every day.
I'll never forget this. She says to me, "Greg, nothing has come easy for me in my career. I've had to work hard for everything I've gotten, and I'll work hard for this. I don't want to do it if I'm not the right person to do it. And if you think I'm right for the role, then you cast me, and if not, you cast somebody else. But I'll do it. I'll put myself up against anybody."
It took them a long time to choose me. You know, they didn't do it. They didn't go, "That's the one, she's it."
When she did get it, the real challenge had just begun. Pressure was sky high for the soaring actress to deliver a worthy performance.
It was a huge job. There was a lot to do. You know, she was very fresh in the public's mind. They remembered her. How do you do it without trying to impersonate her or being a caricature? You know, you don't want to do any of that. You want to be a real person, and you know, that was the hard part.
Obviously, she did a little research because she wanted to make sure that she got the likeness of her, and she wanted to make sure that she portrayed her in the right way.
When she did Selena, she learned Spanish as an adult. She had never sung in that kind of atmosphere, in an arena atmosphere before, and she fearlessly charged on and conquered that role.
Selena's parents were actually on the set. They liked Jennifer, they liked working with her, and they said that they thought she reflected their daughter's life very well.
However, Selena's fans remained concerned about how the Tejano superstar would be portrayed.
Audiences were obviously a little nervous at first, especially if you're a huge fan of Selena. You don't know what to expect. You want to make sure that the person who's given the role does the role justice.
But then when they saw her do it, really she just kind of molded into the role of Selena. After that, she was just embraced by the community.
When I first came out, I didn't know how the fans were going to accept me, and when I did come out, they were yelling Selena and they were yelling Jennifer, which made me feel very at home, and that they did accept me in the role, and they were there to be supportive and positive.
It told their story. It brought their great subculture into a mainstream spot. So that was something that they very much appreciated Jennifer Lopez for.
Suddenly Jennifer Lopez comes along and she's this dynamic talent, and I think this is a very, very important moment in the development of Latinos in Hollywood.
It was also the perfect movie to showcase Jennifer Lopez's skills, because she's great in the singing scenes and she's great dancing, but she also nailed those dramatic moments. And she did it with a certain humility and a lack of gloss.
And it was Jennifer's sensitivity to the role of Selena that brought her to the next level of Hollywood stardom.
Selena really catapulted Jennifer into a whole new stratosphere of celebrity. Before, she was a supporting player, she was kind of the decor. Here, finally, she is the star. She's carrying a picture. She's getting $1 million for it, which is, you know, pretty serious. This is her first $1 million paycheck, and she succeeds. The movie is very successful, and it's all on her shoulders.
It was after this, of course, that Jennifer was nominated for the Golden Globe Award. So it was an all-round success. She managed to reach both Anglo-American and Latin audiences, and I think that was the turning point of her career, really.
At 26, Jennifer's career and love life achieved harmony. She and boyfriend Ohani Noah got engaged.
He proposed to her at Selena's wrap party in front of everybody, and she accepted right there. It was kind of a whirlwind.
Here she is reaching a new high with her career, and her personal life is so romantic with this man who's wooing her in front of everyone. It's all very public, all very exciting for her. And then the movie wraps and they're married, and Jennifer wants to continue with her career.
Jennifer's follow-up to Selena was 1998's critically acclaimed caper, Out of Sight. Directed by Steven Soderbergh and co-starring George Clooney, Out of Sight gave Jennifer the opportunity to prove that her star was not going to fade anytime soon.
Out of Sight is a film that many people point to when they say Jennifer Lopez can act. This is a woman going toe-to-toe with another major movie star, George Clooney. She more than holds her own.
Word of the new femme fatale traveled fast. Jennifer's unique beauty and sensuous charm began to grace magazine covers everywhere, making her an international sex symbol.
She was on every, sexiest woman in the world list, FHM magazine, Stuff magazine, Maxim magazine.
I think Jennifer was one of those people that said, look what I got, and you'll love it.
I come from a culture where the women are very curvy, and I grew up with that, so to me that's such a beautiful thing.
She really represented sort of a cultural shift in what people expected out of the looks of women who were in magazines and on TV.
The public couldn't get enough of the newly anointed sex symbol's curvaceous body and sizzling on-screen romances. Jennifer embraced the media attention, but it proved too much for her husband Ohani.
Johnny had the same problem that David did. He couldn't handle the implications of her fame.
He was not all that keen on having a wife who looked so glamorous and was showing off her body to everybody else.
Jennifer and Ohani got married very young. She was just starting up her career, and it put a lot of pressure on their relationship. She was very driven, wanted to be a huge star, and it was really hard for him to be sort of Mr. Jennifer Lopez, and ultimately that was a big reason why they failed.
The two divorced in 1998, but instead of dwelling on her failed marriage, 28-year-old Jennifer Lopez spent her time pursuing a different love, music. After meeting years earlier on a music video shoot for the rap music mogul Sean Puffy Combs, she began to collaborate with him on her first album.
She had already had a record deal with a small label called Work Records, which was owned by CBS Records.
She was working with Tommy Mottola, a guy who's known as hitmaker, who helped bring Mariah Carey to the masses. And so Jennifer Lopez was in very good hands in terms of people that knew how to make stars. Mark Anthony was hot, Shakira was just breaking through, Ricky Martin was happening. Then here comes Jennifer Lopez, the right woman at the right time, saying, hey, I've got this sound too.
I grew up in New York. I'm Puerto Rican, so it's like it's urban, but it definitely has a Latin influence, and it's dance music, and it's all those things. It's a hybrid of all of that kind of stuff.
And she had a sound. It was very young, and it had a real kind of a yearning and sincerity to it.
People didn't really completely buy her as a pop star until that first video, If You Had My Love, came out. But when people saw it, the goods were in front of them, they realized she really could be a pop star along the lines of a Madonna, someone who really had the total package of being able to sing a little bit, but also being able to move and look great on camera.
When the album was released in 1999, it was clear Jennifer's hard work had paid off. On the 6 went triple platinum, with 5 singles and 3 successful music videos. If You Had My Love reached #1 on the Billboard charts.
On the 6 basically talks about the 6 train that I used to take from Castle Hill in the Bronx to here in the city, where I really realized a lot of my dreams so far. So this is a big deal. This is a big day for me.
But that wasn't the biggest news that came out of the making of the album. J-Lo and P. Diddy had officially become an item. Jennifer found herself deeply involved in the high-profile and often dangerous world of hip-hop. And she wasn't prepared for the media shocker that was to come.
It was almost like she knew she'd gone too far. She was in a world she couldn't handle.
It was 1999, and Jennifer Lopez was reveling in the success of her debut album, On the 6. Absorbing the lifestyle of a platinum artist, the Latin superstar had transitioned her image from talented actress to pop diva. Jennifer and Sean Combs had become a tabloid dream.
Jennifer Lopez and Sean Combs were a very interesting couple. He was this bad boy from the hip-hop world. She was this glamorous star. And yet somehow they got together, and people found that fascinating.
She'd always sought street credibility, and Sean Combs being a rap artist, I think there was a certain attraction there.
After meeting Sean Combs, Jennifer started, picking up the bling a little bit. She started becoming more of a glamazon. Prior to this, she was a lot more conservative, kind of simple, more streamlined. Now, after Sean Combs, suddenly we're seeing a lot more fur and a lot more just glitz in general.
She really has broken trends. She's not afraid to take risks, and she likes being a leader in the fashion sense.
And she would take a daring fashion plunge at the 2000 Grammy Awards. P. Diddy at her side, Jennifer walked down the red carpet in a dress no one would soon forget.
She came late that night, walked in as a surprise.
Versace, Donatella.
It was a grand entrance in a newsmaking dress.
Everybody remembers that Grammy dress that Jennifer Lopez wore and the expression that David.Duchovny had. He's like, nobody's paying attention to me. And he was right. It was all about J-Lo and the plunging neckline and the Versace dress. That is definitely one of the most iconic dresses of the last 10 years.
The revealing dress had the shock value of a carefully planned publicity stunt.
It was the right dress at the right moment, and I'm absolutely certain that P. Diddy guided that entrance.
The beautiful couple was used to making headlines. It seemed fans couldn't get enough of their glamorous and expensive adventurers, even when they got out of hand. In December of 1999, the couple ran into trouble at a New York nightclub.
The story goes that Sean Combs starts kind of showing off, throwing dollar bills around, and there's somebody there who doesn't like it, and he kind of throws it back into Puffy's face. And next thing you know, there's gunshots.
Witnesses allege that the shots had come from P. Diddy's entourage. Jennifer and Sean got out quickly.
They get out of there, they get in their car, they give chase. I think the police is following them. They run through several red lights, and then when the police stops them, they find a gun in the car. So they haul them into the holding cell, and Jennifer is held for 14 hours.
Sean Combs would be put on trial for gun possession. Jennifer's charges were dropped, but the damage had been done.
That one incident, as a family girl, as someone who cared what her mom and dad thought was embarrassing to her.
The good girl image that helped Jennifer achieve remarkable fame was being threatened by her association with Sean Combs and the hip-hop lifestyle. She found herself walking a fine line.
There's all this huge story about how she spent that whole time crying because this is really nothing like what, she's kind of set herself up to be, this role model, this very, non-drinking, non-smoking, positive influence, and here she is, kind of hanging out with this bad element.
Sean Combs was acquitted of the gun charges in March of 2001, but by then, after nearly 2.5 years together, Jennifer Lopez had ended the relationship.
But in the end, it was actually too much. People weren't talking about their music, people weren't talking about their work, they were just talking about them, and the crush became too much.
Moving on with her life, Lopez focused on her music career as she tried to follow the success of her first album, along with embracing her new high-profile nickname. Her sophomore album would simply be titled J-Lo.
I think the fans gave her the name J-Lo, and she saw that it was easy for people. I think P. Diddy was a good example in that you change your name, you give people a nickname, you give people a little headline to make.
J-Lo was just a fun album to make. It looked like Jennifer was really enjoying her career. This was her second album. She knew what to expect when she was in the recording studio. She felt comfortable with it. She knew how to put some fun into it.
And it showed. The album was a huge commercial success, reaching the #1 spot on the Billboard charts. At the same time, The Wedding Planner, a movie she made with Matthew McConaughey, went to the top of the box office, making Jennifer the first performer to hold the #1 spot for an album and a movie at the same time.
Everybody loved her in The Wedding Planner. She was vulnerable and sensitive, cute.
She was suddenly appealing to a wide family audience after the incident with the gun. It was almost like a form of penance,
As Jennifer was attracting new fans, she also attracted a new love interest. While working on dance routines for the new single from her album, she had developed a close friendship with one of the backup dancers, Chris Judd. This working relationship quickly blossomed into something more.
At the time they were dating, she was also making a very intense movie called Enough, where she played an abused woman. And he was there to comfort her after these really, really hard days on the set.
After having so much drama around Sean and her relationship with that, everything that happened, she really wanted to find just Mr. Nice Guy. She didn't want something with a lot of drama. She was happy to find someone who was taking the back seat. Jennifer was really the star of that relationship.
And on September 29th, 2001, in a Valentino gown of Chantilly lace and silk on a private mountaintop estate in California, Jennifer Lopez married for the second time. But her new husband didn't quite realize what he was getting into. By 2002, the newly married Jennifer Lopez had 2 more films to promote: the romantic comedy Made in Manhattan and the thrilling drama Enough. At the same time, she was working on 2 albums and launching her own perfume brand, Glow. With such a busy schedule, Jennifer and new husband Chris Judd had little downtime.
They had this wonderful honeymoon in Italy, and then they came home, and her career sort of took over again. They came from very different worlds. She was always wanting to be in the spotlight because she felt she needed to for her career. He was more of a I'm gonna stay at home kind of guy and not be involved in this.
I remember being at our first premiere where he went with me. And there's cameras going off and the people are yelling, Jennifer, look over here. You've been there, it was crazy. I looked over to him and I'm like, are you okay? Because they're screaming his name. He's like,
I think it's very hard to juggle the kind of high-powered career she had and the kind of high-powered visibility she has with the comfort level of an intimate relationship.
With her new marriage to Chris Judd already on the rocks, Jennifer began working on Gigli, a dark romantic comedy about a hitman paired with a beautiful, independent-minded gangster. Ben Affleck co-starred.
When Jennifer met Ben Affleck, she was still married to Chris Judd. They were starting to have problems. Their relationship was showing their cracks. Ben was like her. He was a movie star. He was very driven. He was this sexy young thing, and he was just very charming.
In August of 2002, Jennifer and Chris filed for divorce. It was no surprise to some, especially when she and Ben Affleck began dating 4 months later. They arrived together at the December premiere of Made in Manhattan, and the Bennifer craze was born.
You can't blame Ben Affleck for the demise of the Jennifer-Chris Judd marriage, because ultimately something must have been wrong in that relationship for her to have moved on to Ben Affleck so fast.
Bennifer sort of took on a life of its own, and you have to sort of look at the context of what world events were in this time. It was about a year after 9/11, and people were looking for what is something fun and frivolous to pay attention to, and their relationship certainly fit the bill.
There was a lot of tabloid scrutiny, and a lot of it Jennifer and Ben participated in themselves. They were like in this fame speedboat with their foot on the pedal, and they were going at top speed and both having a great, crazy, expensive, glamorous time.
Jennifer ignored the dangers of overexposure and even showcased her relationship by featuring Ben Affleck in the Jenny from the Block video for her new 2002 album, This Is Me Then.
By doing that, in a sense, she also added fuel to the fire.
I don't think it was probably the right choice because we were so saturated already with Bennifer everywhere.
Still, her fourth album, J to the LO, The Remixes, became the third best-selling remix in history behind Michael Jackson and Madonna. However, all was not well. In August of 2003, at the peak of Bennifer's reign over Hollywood, Gigli had a monumentally poor showing at the box office.
I don't think anyone's going to defend Gigli as a great film, but I think that it was way overplayed how bad it was. It was made fun of. Nobody could watch that film with any objectivity, paying one bit of attention to the plot.
The couple's embarrassment escalated after some critics dubbed Gigli the worst movie of all time.
Around that time, Ben Affleck was gambling, and that was said to be one of the main issues. Ben also spent some time in a strip club that caused quite a bit of controversy.
For months, gossip columnists have been asking, will they, won't they? And this week, J-Lo has the answer.
And then right days before their wedding, they call it off.
On January 20th, 2004, the couple announced a permanent split. Fans speculated that Jennifer had been fed up with Ben's immaturity and gambling. But the tabloid frenzy couldn't have helped. The bad press also crushed the opening of Jersey Girl, Jennifer and Ben's second film together.
The whole Bennifer eclipsed what could have been a really lovely, funny movie. By the time the movie came out, Jersey Girl, the relationship had imploded, and they had a whole bunch with Jennifer where she was like, dressed in a wedding gown and all this stuff, which was now an embarrassment and had to be cut. But you can say that the whole Bennifer crisis killed Jersey Girl. Who knows what the movie was that they wanted to make, but it died. It died a sad death.
There was a lot of negativity around her at that time, and the press wasn't exactly, going in the direction that she wanted it to go.
She was battling media saturation and the portrayal of her as a superficial diva.
I think it's because of, because I like a bit of the glamour, and I like, to dress a certain way, and, so people want to attach something to that.
The jury was out on J-Lo's status. Failed marriages, gaudy luxuries, and time spent in the hip-hop world had really impacted the public's view of Jennifer.
Jennifer Lopez knows how she wants things to be, and she knows how they should be in order for her career to advance. And some people may think of this as being a diva.
She knows what she wants and how she wants it, because everything is about giving it back to you.
It may be impossible to figure out who's a diva and who's not, because the label's applied to almost every female star who tries to do anything in Hollywood. She gets labeled that, and she has to overcome that.
Now 35, with 2 failed marriages and a pair of Hollywood flops, Jennifer was facing a career in crisis. Jennifer Lopez began 2004 coming off a blockbuster movie flop in Gigli and a tumultuous breakup with Ben Affleck. Times were tough. It seemed that she had exhausted her image and herself. Jennifer simply wasn't going to lose faith in her dreams. There was a world of success outside of Hollywood for Jennifer to explore.
She was sort of growing as sort of a corporate entity, because she was someone who was into fashion, into fragrances, into the movies, into music, and doing them all at a very high level in a way that was generating millions of dollars.
The idea was actually to be able to come out of just being an on-camera talent and develop and create some of her own projects.
Jennifer had already created her own corporate empire with 2 fashion labels as well as 2 flourishing perfume campaigns.
Jennifer Lopez is a brand. I mean, she was one of the early slashes. She was like Jennifer Lopez, the singer, the dancer, the clothing designer, the restaurateur. She was doing all this stuff moving out before many other stars did.
J.Lo Inc. was prospering, and Jennifer had an eye on a new man. After the Bennifer debacle, Jennifer was seen on the town with singer Mark Anthony, a longtime friend she had worked with in music videos.
They go way back, and they did a collaboration on her album On the 6th. And it's long been talked about how Mark Anthony had this long-standing thing for J.Lo.
It had all the makings of another high-profile romance, but this time it was different.
J-Lo's dated strong men before, but they've kind of fallen under her spell. I think Mark is the first to really be an equal in her eyes, and that's why the relationship works.
Jennifer and Mark had dated briefly 5 years earlier. They remained friends after an amicable split, but hadn't seen each other in some time. They reconnected while recording a duet for the film Shall We Dance, and the Latin stars were on their way to revisiting romance.
She and Mark Anthony have known each other for a really long time. They were friends before they got together, and they have so many shared interests and history.
I think you love who you love, and some things work and some things don't. And until you find what it is that you're looking for, you keep searching. And I think that with Jennifer, that was the situation.
Not only did the new couple share interests together, but there was also a level of balance in the relationship that was new to Jennifer.
Jennifer's relationship with Mark Anthony was based on respect.
The tabloid rumors swirled as Mark and Jennifer tried hard to keep their private life out of the press.
When you meet him, he's a regular guy. He doesn't really court publicity, and he almost likes to stand on the side and let her shine.
As rumors flew, Jennifer and Mark kept mum on their romance. And they also avoided the paparazzi. Fans were left in the dark. On June 4th, 2004, word got out that the couple had been married in a quiet, intimate ceremony.
They had a very private wedding on June 5th, but this time she's decided to be much more guarded about her personal life.
I decided that that's the new approach I'm taking. It's not about, you can't know about me, I don't want anybody in my life. It's not that. It's just a quality of life and protecting that which is sacred to you, that which you love.
I think they understand each other. I think they're equal in stature outside of the marriage.
The Jennifer Lopez we see now, the Jennifer Lopez that is married to Mark Anthony, seems like the real Jennifer Lopez.
Since their marriage, the couple has managed to maintain a comfortable life outside of the intrusive media spotlight.
She says she's never been happier. She's in a place now where she's the happiest she's ever been. They know how to keep it simple.
Jennifer tried to divert the media attention away from her personal life and onto her flourishing career. Along with her film work, her music kept her busy. In 2005, she released the album Rebirth, and in 2007, she released her first ever all-Spanish album, Como Ama Una Mujer, How a Woman Loves, which debuted at number 10.
It was smart for her to do an album in Spanish because it did connect her, to her core audience, sort of saying, Hollywood values are not my values. Here's what I'm really about.
Maintaining a low profile, Mark and Jennifer have successfully collaborated on meaningful projects. Taking a story close to their roots, the couple produced and starred in El Cantante, a biopic on the late salsa legend Hector Lavoe.
It really says that she cares about a community and she cares about quality, and that's what Mark Anthony brought to the relationship, it seems, from the outside, and is striving for real artistic merit in the kinds of things they do together.
Mark has a hand in all of Jennifer's businesses, guiding her career.
You know that it's an equal relationship. And the way the two of them describe it is that they make each other better. And if you're around them at all, you really believe that.
From the Bronx to Bennifer and beyond, Jennifer Lopez's latest phase has been all about babies. On November 7, 2007, the final night of her first ever tour co-headlining with husband Mark Anthony, she confirmed to the sold-out crowd in Miami what the tabloids had been speculating for months. Yes, she was pregnant. On February 22, 2008, 38-year-old Jennifer gave birth to twins Max and Emmy. 1 month later, the babies made their official debut on the cover and in a 12-page spread in People magazine, who paid a reported $6 million for the exclusive photos taken at Jennifer and Mark's Long Island home. Motherhood is also what motivated Jennifer to participate in her first triathlon in September of 2008. She says she did it to make her kids proud, and at the same time raised money and awareness for Children's Hospital Los Angeles. It was back to business for the busy mom in 2009 when she performed her latest single, Louboutins, at the American Music Awards. But her new single was overshadowed when Jennifer fell on stage during her performance. The fall was all the media focused on. The lack of interest in the song had Jen and her music label Sony rethink her latest album and their relationship.
You know, I had done 7 albums with Sony, believe it or not, and we had a great relationship, and we sold a lot of records, and the company, has changed a little bit, and I just thought it was time for a fresh start. And so we parted ways mutually, and it was awesome.
With her music career on hold, Jennifer focused on acting, returning to the big screen with the 2010 romantic comedy, The Backup Plan.
It's been a few years since I've had a movie, done a movie, and, been at a premiere, so it's a lot of fun for me.
The film's mediocre success at the box office did not create the comeback that Jennifer was hoping for. With her music and acting career at a standstill, Jennifer looked for a new platform to conquer. The opportunity came when the television hit show American Idol announced they were looking for new judges. Jennifer Lopez was a frontrunner.
I can tell you that I am rooting for some of the most popular people that have been in the news recently.
J-Lo?
I like her a lot.
The producers of American Idol liked her as well and chose Jennifer to fill one of the coveted judges' seats. Jennifer was also chosen by the World Music Awards Committee as the recipient of the 2010 Legend Award for her contribution to the arts.
It means a lot to me, World Music Award, for the career I've had so far, but like I said, it's just the beginning.
The premiere of American Idol in January of 2011 got the year off to a good start for Jennifer Lopez. The show breathed new life into Jennifer's career and put the pop star back on top.
It was nice to go in there every week knowing you had to see those 3 faces in front of you, Steven, Jennifer, and Randy. And they might have critique for you, but they say it in a nice way. It was a fun experience.
She was named People magazine's most beautiful woman in the world and dropped the album Love, which included her most successful single in 8 years, On the Floor.
My whole team has been making a plan of, the record and how we wanted it to be, and we really concentrated on the creative stuff, on the actual music, the actual work of it. And when you do that, things kind of have a way of turning out the right way.
Then it was announced in June 2011 that Jennifer would receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, immortalizing her success. Everything seemed perfect on the surface, but behind closed doors, Jennifer's marriage was falling apart. 1 month later, Jennifer and Mark Anthony called it quits.
The biggest lesson I've learned is to really love yourself. Love yourself first.
Although their 7-year marriage was over, Jennifer and Mark's working relationship is going strong. The ex-couple still plan to launch their first joint television venture, Latin talent show Que Viva, The Chosen. While Jennifer waits for her next suitor to come along, her twins and endless work schedule will keep her busy. In November 2011, Jennifer was awarded at Glamour magazine's 21st Annual Woman of the Year Awards at Carnegie Hall in New York, an award that honors courageous and inspiring women who are changing the world.
I've had an incredible year, incredible couple of years of ups and some not so ups. And the one thing that got me through was the women in my life, all circling around me and being there for me every single minute. It's the women in my life that helped me and shaped me into the woman that I am today.
With 2 film releases, What to Expect When You're Expecting, and Ice Age 4, and her Kohl's clothing line,
I'm really happy about her line, and I saw all the work that she put into it and the Coles people put into it, and it looks great. It looks great. I'm really proud of her.
As well as an endorsement deal with Italian car maker Fiat and another season of American Idol, Jennifer's career won't be slowing down anytime soon. Throughout her phenomenal rise to superstardom, Jennifer Lopez has shown that she's willing to work hard for the things she cares about, even if that means making some mistakes along the way.
She doesn't have problems, she has obstacles, and she always knows how to get over them.
She will find a way out. She will write her own ticket, she will produce her own movies, and she will find the vehicles for her.
She's got an unbelievable instinct for what's right for her, for what she should be doing.
Jennifer Lopez ain't going quietly anywhere.
Her best work is yet to come.
I am just a simple girl from the Bronx who loves to sing and dance a little bit.
She's very proud about who she is and where she came from. She's just Jenny from the block who had big dreams, who worked hard to see that her dreams came true.